everyone, my name is Seth, and today I'm going to give you my review of Extraction. Extraction came out in 2020. It stars Chris Hemsworth and is directed by stuntman turned director Sam Hargrave. The whole stuntman turned director thing has worked out pretty well for guys like Chad Stahelski and David Leitch, and I would say it worked out pretty well here for Sam Hargrave. But before I go any farther, go ahead and like this video, hit subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video. First things first, is this an incredibly in-depth, layered, Oscar-worthy script? No, absolutely not. It is pretty thin on story, to be honest, but it works. It still works. It doesn't need to be this incredibly complex story. The story here is Chris Hemsworth plays a mercenary who is hired by a crime lord to come and save his son who has been kidnapped. And that's pretty much the whole story. It's simple, but it works. There's a couple of other smaller twists here and there throughout the film, but there's nothing like super big and mind-blowing. But the story here is just really the framework for the action and for the characters. And both of those two things are good. And I think that is what elevates this movie. That's what elevates the story from just being a kind of okay to blah, whatever, thin story. It kind of just elevates it a little bit more. The action here is the big standout in this film, and you would probably expect that from a stuntman turned director. Sam Hargrave has done stunts on films like the Avengers movies, Atomic Blonde, the Captain America films, Deadpool 2, The Hunger Games, movies like that. He was also the stuntman for Chris Evans' Captain America, and he was kind of the go-to guy for stunts in the MCU. So he has a great sense here for fun and impactful action. Everything here, from the gunfights to the car chases to the hand-to-hand combat sequences, everything, it has so much impact, and it is absolutely fantastic. And I totally get the comparisons to John Wick. The fight sequences are grounded, but at the same time, they're also very brutal and stylish. And the action sequences are also very creative. They're not just visual noise. They actually serve a purpose, and they do help push the story forward. With every action sequence having this purpose, it helps elevate the story to another level. And honestly, it helps elevate the film as a whole as well. The action had so much energy, and all of the action sequences were expertly paced. I watched this with a group of friends, and I can't even tell you how many times an action sequence made us react. It was just a ton of fun. The cinematography during the whole film was really good, but it was especially great during the action. The way it was filmed, it really helped add to the energy, and you can clearly see what is going on, and you can clearly tell where everybody is in space. And towards the middle of the film, there was this almost 12-minute continuous one-shot take. It was made of 36 different stitch sequences together, and for some of those, it took 25 times to get those to line up right. I was in awe of how they did this. It looked so good. That was definitely a highlight of the film for me. Just about all of those hidden cuts were perfect, and that is just something that adds another level to this film. That sequence is nothing short of incredible. For some of the car chases, Hargrave was actually able to man the camera strapped to the front of the pursuit car, and that is really interesting. That helps really put you right into the chase sequence. It's really cool. It just kind of gives you a different perspective. Another thing that I think helps sell the action really well is Chris Hemsworth's physicality. There were multiple times throughout this film where I thought two things. One, man, Chris Hemsworth is really cool. And number two, I bet it was tough learning and performing these action sequences, but he did such a great job. It was all worth it, and I am so glad that John Wick has inspired more of these kind of action films. And it wasn't just the physicality. Chris Hemsworth did a great job acting here too. He was really good in this, and of course, I love him as Thor, but I love getting to see him play different characters. You believe his characters change from the beginning of the film to the end of the film. There were a few scenes where he really got to show some emotion, his characters dealing with grief and guilt, and those were some of the highlights of this movie for me, along with the action. Those scenes were just really, really well performed. And even though his character's backstory might not be completely unique, I will say Chris Hemsworth does a great job of making it work and making it believable. Byron Lerum, who plays the kid that Chris Hemsworth ends up saving, he did a good job as well. I really like Byron's performance, and I think he and Chris Hemsworth had really good chemistry by the end of the film. And also, David Harbour was in this. I had no idea. He just popped up, and I was like, wait a second, that's David Harbour. And so he did a great job here. He played a really interesting character, and I'm all for putting David Harbour in anything. And one more thing I definitely want to bring up here is the sound design. The sound in this film was really, really good. I wish I could have seen this in a theater with that sound design. The sound is just awesome. Like, it all has an impact. The gunshots, the punches, the knife slashes, the explosions, the car wrecks, everything just had a big impact. Overall, I really like this movie. I like this a lot more than I was expecting to. I was thinking, okay, I'll probably like it. It'll probably just be a standard kind of whatever action film with just some cool sequences here and there. But I ended up liking this a lot more than that. And quite honestly, I might even like it more than maybe most people would, but you know what? I don't care. Even though the story is pretty thin, the action is awesome. Chris Hemsworth is very, very good. And all of that just helps to elevate the story and elevate the whole film. This is definitely a violent film. They do not shy away from any of that, but it is a ton of fun. And immediately, right when the credits started to roll, I was ready to go ahead and watch the second one. So be on the lookout for that. I will probably be watching the second one soon, and I will definitely bring you a review whenever I finish that. But I would definitely recommend watching this with a group of friends. Like I said, that's how I watched it, and that was just a ton of fun. Just having everybody together, just reacting to everything that was going on. It was just a great movie experience. So with all that being said, I think I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 stars. But that's it. That's my review of Extraction. Have you seen this film? Let me know what you thought in the comments section down below. I would love to have a conversation with you about it. Don't forget to like this video, hit subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. You can follow me on social media pretty much anywhere at CinemaSeth, and I'll see you next time.